Hello everyone, welcome to your weekly pick-a-card reading for Monday the 7th to Sunday the 13th of August. These messages are timeless, but I do date stamp them for my regular listeners. But for those of you that stumble across them at any other time, just know that these messages from Spirit come to you when you need them. Let's get started. Okay everyone, we have pole number 1, pole number 2, pole number 3 and pole number 4. So I'm just going to place some shells to help you select each pile. Just gives you something else to draw your eye to. So my friends, just choose a pile that calls you, a pile that you feel drawn to. And just trust that there'll be a message in there that you'll be able to use in the week ahead. Select as many piles as you feel called to. Pause the video if you need more time, and I'll see you in your reading. Hello, pile number 1. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you this week. So we have the 3 of Pentacles, we have the 10 of Wands, and we have the Knight of Pentacles. The overall energy, we have seek seclusion and we have choice. And then additional messages, we have express your hidden feelings and open to possibility. Okay, my friends, so it's funny how the card, and it often happens like this, how these 2 cards kind of are telling a story and these 2 cards are kind of telling a story, or they're linked in a way. And I feel that this seeks seclusion. I think it's in order to actually come to understand your hidden feelings. I'm seeing this, well, and this is very much your chakras and the aligning of your chakras, and how not one chakra is more important than the other, because all it takes is for one to be out of balance and you're out of balance. It doesn't matter how balanced the other chakras are. The minute one of them is out of balance, you're out of balance. They're all out of balance, if you like. And this is, so Spirit's drawing me back to the chakras, because it's almost saying that focusing on just one chakra and like for instance, if you want to open your heart and you're just working on your heart chakra, that will create imbalances in you. It's like favoring an aspect of yourself above the others. It creates imbalance. And an overdeveloped chakra is just as burdensome, if you like, it's just as problematic, thank you Spirit, as an underdeveloped one. So when I mean overdeveloped and underdeveloped, what I'm actually meaning is one that is super energized and one that is lacking energy. One that is spinning really fast and one that is blocked. Because your chakras spin And it's that continual flow of energy that creates health in us. And when one becomes, let's say, over-energized, it spins out of rhythm with the others, and it will often cause a blockage somewhere further along or somewhere further down, depending on which one you're talking about. And I feel that this reading is talking about balance. I feel that this reading, this seeks seclusion, pole number 1, is saying you're not seeking seclusion to get away from people. You're not seeking seclusion to hide. It's not, you know, sometimes we need to retreat, lick our wounds, and then come back out into the world. That's not the energy I'm feeling. And sometimes I do feel that energy with this card, but in your reading, pole number 1, it's not that at all. It's almost like take time out to see where in yourself, where in your health, where in your life there is something out of balance. And I'm getting the feeling that there is more than one place. So I feel that you might have a work-life balance that is out of balance, and you might also have a eating-not eating balance that's out of order. So there's this sense that it's playing out in more than one aspect of yourself or more than one aspect of your life. So I do feel that this is sort of saying you're going to have to look below the surface. It's like all this stuff is really clear to you, and you kind of have to turn and face the darker area, so the parts of you that you don't look at, or not very often. You know, you might get a glimpse of it and then you think, oh, and you turn and face the things that you're happy with. You know, a Spirit's just given me an example. If this is a relationship, the problems are swept under the carpet, for want of a better way of explaining it. So rather than looking at exactly what's happening, it's kind of like, no, I want to be in the relationship. So I'm just, everything else is just being swept under the carpet. And now Spirit is giving you the opportunity to lift up the carpet and look what's underneath. And it's not just relationships, it's aspects of yourself and any aspect of your life. So pole number 1, you'll need to apply this where it resonates with you, but that also takes a level of open-mindedness and real honesty, because it's difficult to peel back the layers and see what we don't want to see. But I feel with this, express your hidden feelings, celebrate your light, I think it will heal something. And healing can come in so many different ways, so many different you know, so thank you, Spirit. So what I'm trying to say is that healing can come from things dissolving, but healing can also come from things deepening and becoming more connected. So you may find, like if we go back to that relationship, you may find that when you lift the carpet and look at everything that's been buried underneath it, it might end the relationship. It might also deepen and reconnect the relationship. And either way, I think there needs to be an understanding, a trust, and a knowing that whichever way that goes, pole number one, it's healing and it's in alignment. It brings things back into balance. It brings things back into a good flow. Spirit just said to me, when we are not where we are supposed to be, and they're asking me to explain that, but when we are not where we are supposed to be, we block the flow of life. We block what is supposed to leave, and we block what is supposed to come in. We block our growth. We block our evolution. And it has a knock-on effect, because that will impact our mind and our body. So it's like our mind and our body, and probably more so our mind and then our body, but we'll put them together. They're often the ones that block our soul's calling, our soul path. Our soul is so unlimited, and that means our soul has such an unlimited perspective. It has the ability, the capability to view everything from every angle, because it is limitless. It doesn't place limits. It has no limits. It can see beyond everything. And so the interesting thing is that our mind and our body will often block the soul's journey, but then to the detriment of your mind and your body. Now, Spirit also wants me to explain that that is a normal aspect of a functioning human being. We are the mind, we are the body, and that is very tangible, that is limited. The mind less so, but our mind is still limited by our perspective. Our mind is still limited by what we think is possible. But they are aspects of ourself that in order to live in this world, they're our parameters. We have to abide by them. And Spirit is saying that the journey of life is all about understanding that. Understanding that, yes, we have a limited body. Yes, we have a somewhat limited mind. And yes, we are also an unlimited soul. So there's a gradient there of possibility and capability and understanding. And in order to journey this life, or each journey of this life, in our lifetime, thank you, Spirit. So each journey that we undertake in this, our current life on earth, is all about bringing us closer to connecting the three. Not only in understanding that, because I think understanding comes first. I think you kind of go, oh yes, I can see how that is. But applying it sometimes is more difficult. Or it's not sometimes more difficult. It is more difficult. And it's very easy to get trapped in a certain aspect of ourselves. And understanding this, pole number one, is, I think, the first step of being able to apply it. And I think Spirit wants to get you to a place where you're applying it. Because I feel that at the moment, there's real imbalance in your life, and rather than stepping back and kind of looking at what's been hidden, and not what spirit's hidden, but what you've, let's say swept under the carpet, because I think that's an analogy we can all understand. You know, it's like the big white elephant in the room and nobody's talking about it. Spirit wants you to talk about it. Spirit wants you to at least go, there's a big white elephant in the room. Why are we not talking about it? Because I think there's aspects of yourself that you have hidden, or aspects of yourself that you might not even realize that you've hidden. And I feel that there's this sense that life might be a little bit challenging at the moment, and I do get the understanding from spirit that you do sense, pole number one, that there is an imbalance, but I think you're struggling to put your finger on what it is. And I think rather than taking a step back and slowing down and really looking at things, I think you're trying to make things happen even more. So I think you know things are not quite right, and instead of stepping back and asking questions, it's almost like you're working towards, like, putting more under the carpet. You're working hard to not turn around and see what's here. Because your other overall energy is choice. So I'm wondering if there are choices coming your way, because I'm kind of feeling that seek seclusion, really look at your life, is the present. I think that's this week, like, or maybe this is the following weeks, the following months, or maybe it's towards the very end of the week. It'll be different for all of you because you're all on different timelines, but I feel there are choices coming, and spirit's basically guiding you, pole number one, that if you don't face what's been swept under the carpet, if you don't look at this white elephant in the middle of the room, I feel your choices are going to be made without the clarity that you need. I feel there is a really major aspect of yourself that you're going to ignore, or a major aspect of your life, your situation, that you're going to ignore. And Spirit just said to me, that's fine. We each have our journeys, and I'm sure, my friends, you've heard that we repeat journeys, not exactly the same, but in order to learn the lesson. And so we repeat patterns until the lesson is learned. And I think this reading for you, pole number one, is a little heads up from Spirit saying, look, my friends, this is what you need to do this week in order to break a pattern, in order to not redo the same journey. It will be in a different way, of course, because each time Spirit tries to wake us, tries to get us to see and to understand. But I feel that Spirit is saying here, look, pole number one, if you can open up, if you can really look at your life, start asking yourself some questions, the pattern won't be repeated. And I feel if you don't, or if you can't see, then you'll just go into a repeat pattern. So the next journey is just about learning and understanding and seeing. Spirit's telling me either way, it's okay. And this is why we're all on different timelines. Because For starters, we all come to this lifetime with slightly different things that we want to learn and understand. You know, we come into the world, or maybe, yes, I understand, Spirit. I'm saying we come into the world, but it's not that we come into the world with hang-ups that we need to heal. It's almost like we come into the world, the soul knows what hang-ups it wants to work through, what hang-ups it wants to experience. And so then we will be in a life, we will be put in a journey, on a journey that will show that, that will help us work through that. So basically, everybody's on slightly a different journey. And one journey might take 1 week for somebody. That journey, a different journey for another, might take a year. So we're all on different timelines. You know, somebody might take 10 attempts. It might take 10 repeating the same journey in order to understand openness in relationships. Somebody else might do 1 journey because that's not their thing. So we all have a lot of the same things that stumble us, that make us stumble, but then we've got a lot of different things. And there is real importance in that, because Spirit has taken a long time to kind of really make me see these 3 cards, and also to help you to understand, pole number 1, that you don't lose out. And I think that's what Spirit is saying here. It's drawing me to open to possibility. So you've got this card, open to possibility, the whole world is before you. And Spirit just said to me, pole number 1, the whole world is always before you. Always. And this possibility, to be open to possibilities, the possibilities out there are yours. That possibility won't go away. Now, Spirit just said to me, the possibilities change as you change. So, Spirit's asking me to really explain this. So, Spirit is saying, okay, pole number 1, imagine that you aren't quite able on this journey to figure this out. So the choice that you make probably won't be aligned with this possibility that's in front of you. So then you go on a repeat cycle. Now that repeat cycle doesn't bring you back to the exact point that you were, because on the repeat cycle a lot of other things could have happened. So you may, on the repeat cycle, you may have dealt with this, but you also may have dealt with a huge issue of, let's say, self-worth. So then the opportunity that comes at the end of that is going to be different to the opportunity you would have had when you first had that opportunity in front of you. So we think that we miss opportunities, and in a sense we do, but the only reason why we do is because the next opportunity is more aligned with where we've gotten to, what we've learned. And this is why self-development, self-growth, self-acceptance, our journeys, they're forever changing. And this is why we are forever changing. It's not that we change per se. It's that we peel back the layers on each journey to reveal a hidden aspect of ourselves, or to reveal a truth about ourselves. And that's why we grow and we evolve, and that's why things change, and that's why each journey will have its set of blessings and aha moments and challenges and tower moments and manifesting. You know, it's full of everything, but it'll be different, because even when you repeat a journey because you didn't quite see what you needed to do, it's almost like you're repeating. It doesn't happen the same way. It's not the same, because the first time round there was maybe other understandings that you grabbed. You might not have understood that particular journey, but along that previous journey, maybe you became aware of something else. So then that repeat journey won't involve that something else that you've gained clarity on, that you've exposed. But it's a repeat journey for this journey, if you like. It's really hard to put into words, my friends, but I think Spirit's moving me on. So generally when that happens, I feel confident in thinking that the message has been like it makes sense to you. So open to possibility, you always are. And I feel to have choice and open to possibilities, the whole world is before you. I think there are a lot of choices. I think there's going to be a lot of change. And I feel that the tarot kind of explains what I've just been talking about. And this is, the Three of Pentacles is, sometimes it can be seen as the apprentice. Sometimes it can be seen as the qualified tradesman. So often it will be different for each and every one of you. But there is a sense of working your craft. There is a sense of tangibly, because the pentacles are the tangible things in our life. So you're, in a tangible way, you are working on what you love, your calling or your purpose. And you're generally working with others. You've gotten to the point where I feel like you're actually putting it out there, or you're already in collaboration with others, or you're inspired by others, because this is the client and this is the architect and you are the builder. And this can be aspects of yourself that are coming into alignment to move forward on your journey, to build a life that is in alignment with you. So it can work, this can just be aspects of yourself, or it can be other people as well. And I feel that there's a sense that this is what we're looking at. This is this journey. And I feel, you know, the three, there's a balance. It's like mind, body and soul. There's a balance. You know, there's three people, there's three pentacles. And I think that things are aligned, things are balanced. Each aspect of yourself understands what the other is about. You know, the client knows that the architect will draw the drawings and the builder will follow the drawings of the architect. So there's a sense that they're all listening to each other. They're working together. This doesn't work if the builder decides to just do whatever it wants, or if the architect has built a house or a building that the client goes, I didn't ask for a flat, I want a house. What are you building me? What are you doing? Do you know, it's that kind of aspect. So this is what the reading is talking about. Being in alignment. Goals, dreams, aspects of yourself and with those around you. And I think this Ten of Wands is very much that kind of making yourself busy, pole number one, so you don't have to look at what's hidden. This is almost the challenge. And then you've got the Knight of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles here is to say, Okay, pole number 1, do you know what? Just stop a minute. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight. The knights in the court cards are the action-taking card, the action-taking court card. And the Knight of Pentacles, because the Page of Pentacles is the one that takes the Ace of Pentacles and sits there and goes, okay, what can I do with this? I see the potential. I'm curious as to what I can make happen, but I'm not quite sure how to make that happen. So there's a lot of learning, there's a lot of growth, there's a lot of planning. And the Knight of Pentacles has taken that pentacle from the Page. And the Knight of Pentacles goes, do you know what? I need to think about this a little bit further before I take a step. Because he's up on a horse and the pages are down on the ground. So it's almost like, you know what? I'm a little bit further along now, so I've got a different perspective. So I can see how things could be done a little bit differently. I'm seeing things that the Page couldn't see. And therefore the Knight of Pentacles takes the time to really look at things. Takes the time to reevaluate. Are we all on the same page? I can see discrepancies. This Knight of Pentacles is going to look under the carpet. It's going to acknowledge, hey, there's a white elephant in the middle of the room. Why? Celebrate your light. Because when we hide things under the carpet, we're not. We don't. Gee, pole number 1, very, very deep and interesting reading for you first off the bat like that. I'm sending you lots of love, light and blessings, my friends. See you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, pole number 2. Welcome, my friends. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you this week. So we have the 2 of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups, and the 8 of Swords. We have the overall energy as answers within and get clear. We have additional messages with balance your commitments and make your life more interesting. This is interesting energy, isn't it? I'm kind of really interested to see where this is going. Like what messages Spirit is bringing to you. I think this get clear is really important, pole number 2, because Spirit's just brought me to the tarot very quickly, but they're asking me to go back to the overall energies. And basically this 10 of Cups total fulfillment is kind of like on your doorstep. And I really think, and I don't want to say it, the first thing that came to my mind, and it might be an Australian, very slang, I don't really want to say it, but Spirit's like, go ahead. So I'm pretty sure pole number 2 you'll be up with and you'll have a little chuckle with me, hopefully. But Spirit's saying, stop piss farting around. What are you doing? It's almost like you are looking at this and you're going, oh, I don't know, oh, it's all a bit scary, oh, it's all a bit... And I feel that, I think Spirit wanted me to say that, even though I was extremely uncomfortable at saying it, to almost kind of say, hey, you know, it was almost like, I'm feeling like it was like, you know, when people swear, and I'm not talking about people that swear a lot, because when you know that somebody just swears all the time, them swearing actually has no impact. But it's when somebody doesn't swear and suddenly they swear, it really catches your attention. And I feel that's what Spirit's trying to do. It's almost saying, wake the F up. And I don't normally talk like that. I don't normally like to But this is this strong in your reading, pole number 2. Really strong. So the overall energies is answers within, and Spirit's just asked me to read them both together. So we've got answers within and get clear. And I normally see this get clear card as like, take your time, really look into things, slow down. But I'm seeing this card today in your reading, pole number 2, as stop procrastinating. Stop distracting yourself. And Spirit just gave me like a scenario for you to kind of understand this energy. And it's like this woman wants to find love. You know, she's single and she just would love to find a relationship and a partner. And instead of getting out there, she just reads romance novels. I think that was a good way. Actually, I think, you know, I'm just thinking to myself, oh gosh, let that sink in for a bit. And I'm not saying that that's what you're doing, pole number 2, but there's something that you're doing that is along those lines. And I think with the way Spirit started this reading and with that little metaphor or little sample of what you could be doing, I think suddenly, I think there's been like a, oh, I know what you're talking about. Oh gosh. There's a sense that the answers are within you. And you are being quiet. You are pausing. I don't feel that you're running around frantic, making yourself busy to avoid what it is that's in front of you or that you really want. This 10 of Cups, complete fulfillment, whatever that means to you, pole number 2. But I really do feel that whatever you're doing is not the same as looking within. And for some of you, this energy could be, Spirit's taking me back to the relationship one just to show you a different energy. But it's like, okay, same thing. Person wants a relationship. And they're being mindful. They're going within. But all they're saying to themselves is, I'm lonely, I don't have anybody, oh, I want somebody so badly, why can't I find anybody, why? And so their whole meditation time, their whole quiet time, their whole time of seeking answers within, they're not asking any questions. They're just stating a energy of lack. They're just reiterating to themselves what they don't have, what they are longing for, what they are wanting. And you know, we all kind of understand manifesting a little bit more, and to always look at something as if I want that, I want that, I want that. It pushes it further away because it keeps you in the energy of wanting it. So I think pole number 2, you know, our egos, our mind is so clever. And when you start digging deep, you know, we really see that. We really see how you are probably feeling that you're doing inner work. and Spirit's saying you're skirting all the way around it, and you're actually not helping yourself in the slightest. So get clear. How do we get clear on something? Pole number 2, we ask questions. So in order to receive answers, we don't, like, an answer doesn't come from going, I want this. The universe like, so? Okay. But what about if you started asking questions? Okay, universe, how do I get to this? Okay, universe, is this for me? Why do I want this? Can you feel, pole number 2, how different that is? That's inner work. It's when you ask the question and then you pause. Digging deep is not making statements of what is. Because making statements of what is really just coming from your perspective as well. Because if you ask somebody else to make statements about your life, they'd probably make very different statements because their perspective is different. So making statements about your life is of no benefit. Now, pole number 2, I'm going to say to you, this is a bit of an aha moment for me as well. I'm channeling messages from Spirit that I never stopped to think about. That I've, about the making statements of our life. I'm kind of thinking to myself as I'm talking, oh, I do that. I think we all do, don't we? So there's information here, I think, that is going to make a difference if you heed it. These are all, I don't always say it, and I probably should in the notes for each of my readings, but this is just a heads up. These tarot readings, these channeled messages, they're a heads up from Spirit to say, hey, have you thought about this? Are you looking at this from all angles? And it helps us access something that may otherwise have taken us a long time to see, or that we might miss altogether. So the answers are within, but you need to ask the questions, pole number 2. So, and that other thing about the statements, I feel pole number 2, look at where you are making statements about your life. It could be a statement such as, I'll be happy when, I want, I'm not doing anything until I get, I would do this, but I'm not doing that because. And start seeing, instead of making statements about your life, where you are, what you want, what if you started asking questions? Now, Spirit's just brought me to the tarot now because I feel that this 2 of Pentacles is the questions. The 2 of Pentacles can signify, can show choices and being unsure of which choice to make, which puts you out of balance and creates a lot of emotional turmoil. But I feel that this 2 of Pentacles here is because you're going to start to ask yourself questions, and some of those are going to be hard questions. Oh, excuse me. And I feel it's about your life. This is fulfillment. We all want fulfillment on some level. Now, what fulfills me probably wouldn't fulfill you, and vice versa. Total fulfillment, or our life lived in accordance with what fulfills us, is not the same for each person. And I feel this starts to unravel things for you. I feel well, it looks like a bandage. So the bandage is becoming looser and looser, will eventually fall, and you'll eventually be able to see. But what Spirit is saying, pole number 2, is when you first start to ask yourself these questions, you're probably just going to be like, I don't know. And there will be a sense of you going, what's the point in asking questions? It's frustrating. I don't know the answers for it. I can't see the answers. And there's this sense of trust and keep asking. You know, sometimes when we put in a search into our web browser, I mean, we've become so much better at it, haven't we? Because we've been doing it now for so long. But if you don't put in the right information, or if you don't word it the right way, there can be a whole bunch of stuff that you're like, I didn't ask for that. So there's this sense of getting the parameters right. You know, you've got to kind of put the right words in order to get the right information back. And that takes time. That takes trying different things. So I believe that Spirit's way, pole number 2, of saying, okay, you might go in for that ultimate big question. Where am I going? And you might just be like, I don't know. And you know, you probably won't get a question, you probably won't get an answer, because it's like, well, what step do you want to take? In what area of your life? What are you prepared to do? So I feel that you will probably, because I think that's what we do, I think we start with these massive questions that, I mean, it's like the possibilities are endless. Because remember, we have free will. So we can take that will in any direction that we like. But the big questions can then be brought back down to little ones, and then little ones, and then little ones, and then little ones. And it's when we start to ask those really, really small questions. Like if you say to yourself, what do I want? And I often say this in my readings, get clear on what you want. That is massive. I don't know what I want. Or sometimes we do. But, you know, sometimes we don't. So sometimes we need to break it down into, ultimately, what would I like my life to look like? That straight away feels more possible, doesn't it? Because there's an element of wishing, hoping. And in those aspects of, okay, well, I can't take any steps towards that yet, but in that just dreaming first stage, in that answering that question, you're going to get a bit of a list. And then you can look at that list. And then you're going, oh, it says here I want to live, you know, in the middle of a city with life and people and things to do. And then you look around yourself and you're going, but I live in a small country town. And you're going to start, I mean, that's a big, you know, that's chalk and cheese just to show you a big example. But it's going to show you where there are discrepancies. And you might go, okay, why am I living in a small town? And you might go, well, this is where my job is, this is where my family is, this is where my friends are. And then it might lead to another question of, are they more important than living in a big thriving city? and you might have to sit on that one for a bit. And at first you might feel guilty if you want to say they're not more important. So then there'll be aspects that you'll probably be like, oh, no, see, living in a city is silly. No, I can't do that. And then if you keep coming back to it, that honesty will rise in you and you'll be like, actually it is. Living in a big city is really, really calling to me. And then you can start to go, okay then, can I make this? Like, is this a possibility? And then you might start looking at rental properties and prices. You might start looking at job ads. You might start looking at, you might go there for the day, or, you know, you might start visiting different cities and seeing which one kind of makes you go, oh, this was it. Can you see how it gained momentum all by itself? Whereas if you're making statements, oh, I hate living here, oh, this is so dull, this is so boring, this is so blah, it brings you nothing but that energy of, well, I was going to say disowning yourself, but the Spirit's saying it's not that. It's going to bring me the word that I'm trying to say. It's not disowning. What word am I looking for, Spirit? Not accepting aspect of yourself. Not listening to your values and your goals and your calling. All this energy that you throw into the mix, there's resentment, there's anger. You know, in that last scenario, you're probably angry at your family. They haven't even done anything, the poor things, but you're angry because maybe you're using them to hold you back. But see the energy that you're throwing into your life, your surroundings. And then we wonder why nothing good comes of that. And pole number 2, we all do this. We all do this. And it's a difficult thing to see. And when we have a longing, we have a want, a desire, a calling that has transformed into this longing. And I know what I'm talking about here. It spills out into your life and it tarnishes everything that you have in your present moment. So your present moment could look like this 10 of Cups and you wouldn't even notice it, my friends. Now, the additional messages are: balance your commitments, promote equilibrium in all things. And I think this could be actually referring to this 2 of Pentacles as well, because there's a sense of not being in balance. And I think asking these questions at first will definitely create imbalance in you. Like, it will kind of have you kind of thinking, because it might draw you to conclusions that you weren't expecting. It might make you see things that maybe you weren't that keen on seeing, or making changes on things you kind of got comfortable with and you don't really want to change. You know, it's a big step to go to a big city when all your family and friends are in a faraway country town. Balance your commitments. And I think it's very funny because the analogy, the little story that Spirit gave me, you know, is your commitments. Commitments to yourself and then commitments to the people that you love around you. And like I was saying, how you probably blame your family though they've done nothing. Sometimes our commitments, or what we give up for a commitment, can be the exact thing that fuels this resentment in us, that fuels this anger or this disappointment, and then tarnishes those commitments, those relationships, that job, whatever it is. So there's a sense with this card that in order to be balanced, in order for your life to have equilibrium in all things, you really need to follow your path. You know, you might move to the city and your relationship with your family and friends deepens, becomes more loving and more open and more connected. And you'll be like, that is the oddest thing. But it's because your energy is different. You've followed a dream, you've followed a path, and therefore there's no blame, there's no resentment. And even though you probably won't admit that there was resentment or blame, it might have been an undercurrent, an underlying current of energy. You might be holding on to a longing of something, and that longing is what is creating the imbalance. But I think it's back to these questions of asking you, what do you want to commit to? Because sometimes when we don't know what we want to commit to, and we've just got all these wants and longings, our life is really out of balance. We are out of balance. And then we've got make your life more interesting, explore the unexpected. And this is what it's all about, pole number 2. I feel that when you start asking yourself those questions, just as it happened when I just asked those metaphorical questions to give you an example, and how it led us to realize, oh, in this scenario, we're living in a country town when really our heart is calling us to a city, to the hustle and bustle, the opportunity, the life. So there is a sense here that when you start asking the questions, I really do feel that you're going to see, like, how much change is required, because I think there's a lot of change that is required. I feel that there's a lot of, because this is make your life more interesting, explore the unexpected. And I feel that you've got Pentacles, Cups and Swords. And the Pentacles are about the tangible things in our life. Money, homes, relationships, jobs, people, all that kind of thing. The Swords are our mind, our intellect. It's about clarity. It's about truth. And then the Cups is about love, fulfillment. And it can be, because it's linked to your heart, it can be a little bit about your intuition as well, you know, following your heart. The Swords can also be a little bit about intuition as well. So there's a sense here that when you start down the path of what fulfills you without making excuses, I really feel that your life, the tangible things in your life are going to change. And I really feel that your mindset, the clarity that you have on ways to move forward, is also going to really change. And I do get a sense that, you know, when you truly get clear, there's going to be change. And I think maybe some of you inadvertently are not really wanting that just yet. So you're kind of skirting around it, finding things to blame, or saying, oh, I want this, but I don't have the money, or I want to live there, but I can't leave my family, or I want a relationship, but there's nobody out there for me, nobody would love me. They're just examples, my friends. I'm not saying that that's what you're saying, but That's the energy. Wow, pole number 2, deep reading. Ask yourself those hard questions and allow the questions to lead to more questions, to more questions, to more questions, because you'll actually find that the first question you ask, you might actually not be able to answer. But as you work through it and ask more questions about it, you'll find the answers will start to come. I'm going to leave you with those messages, my friends. Love, light and blessings, pole number 2. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, pole number 3. Welcome, my friends. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you this week. We've got the 2 of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles and the Empress. Nice tarot cards, my friends. We've got intentions. We've got sleep. We've got heal your masculine aspect and learn to nurture yourself. That's very interesting because nurturing yourself is a very feminine aspect. Okay. Okay, pole number 3. I really feel that this week is going to be a week where action is required, but you need to be mindful of burnout. It's a very interesting message. I feel like I really feel there's an aspect here that your day world is going to get really busy. And I feel that in order to, and that's a good thing. So it's not, sometimes we make ourselves busy to not see what's in front of us, to kind of not to acknowledge something. That's not the energy I'm getting with you at all, pole number 3. I just feel like things are coming together. I just feel like things are happening. And I feel that you've got the sleep card, and in this reading I'm really just seeing it as sleep. Sometimes I see it as look into your dreams or, you know, things like that. In your reading, I'm just seeing this as get enough sleep. The message is what it is. So let's see what's happening. So the minute I picked this card up, pole number 3, Spirit just said to me, you've set those intentions and now they're coming in. Or, well, you set those intentions because, and I kind of got the feeling from that, it's like you might be going, oh my gosh, it's all or nothing, and this is an all period. And Spirit's just going to you, well, you set those intentions. I think things are manifesting. And I feel in a big way. Look at these 2 of Cups, Ace of Pentacles and the Empress. And it's those intentions that you've set. And Spirit is saying to me, with this heal your masculine aspect and learn to nurture yourself. When I put them down, I kind of went, well, that's masculine and this is feminine. And I feel that the reason why this heal your masculine aspect is here is because I feel you have healed it. And I feel you have learned to nurture yourself. So I feel there's real alignment here. And what happens when we are aligned? We set really clear intentions. Our actions don't contradict our intentions. What we tell ourselves doesn't contradict our actions. So when there's, and I'm seeing the 11 here as a 1-1, but I'm not seeing it, I mean, it's new beginnings, definitely, but I'm seeing the 1-1 as alignment. There's balance, there's symmetry. There's creating wholeness out of two aspects and two opposing or different aspects. So I feel with this intentions card, pole number 3, wow. And I do feel this sense of, oh my gosh, what the hell's going on? And I feel that you kind of come out of limbo a little bit, and then it's like, boom, everything's happening all at once. And you're a little bit like, you're a little bit like, oh my gosh, what the hell? But it's exciting, and I feel that you have the energy to do this, but you will need to nurture yourself, and you will need to sleep. You will need to make sure that you're not burning the candle at both ends. Now, for some of you, this could be meeting your soul tribe, and suddenly you're socializing and you're out and you're having a great time. And, you know, this sleep is, remember, you've still got work, you've still got your nurturing to do. But Spirit's not saying don't do it. Spirit's just saying make sure you stay in alignment. And I'm just talking about the soul tribe, but this could be anything. This could be you meet a partner and suddenly it's just such a deep connection that you spend every free time together. There's this sense of make sure that you're still living in balance. And sleep is going to be important. I think that's why maybe I got the storyline of like a soul tribe or a partner, you know, because we tend to go out to dinner and we'll have a few wines and, you know, we have a good time, and then we get up and go to work. So it eats into our sleep time. So Spirit is really making you aware of that, pole number 3. But this intention, Spirit is telling me you set these intentions. So it's not setting intentions, is you've set them, and here they are. So Spirit's drawing me to the additional messages, and I did touch on them a little bit earlier, but let's go a little bit deeper into them. So it says here, heal your masculine aspect, and it says evaluate, determine, and act. And I feel that you've been in that evaluate and maybe determine energy for quite a while, and I feel this masculine aspect is coming out now to say you're good to take action. So with this sleep card, I also got the message that some of you, it might be here because some of you might be thinking and maybe a little worried about, oh, this is eating into me time. This is making me tired. Maybe this is not the right thing. Have I thrown myself into it too quickly, too fast? So the energies could work either way. This might be a way that you're trying to slow yourself down. It might be a way that, you know, maybe this is intense. Maybe this is a dream come true, and then you're kind of like, oh my gosh, it's happened. Oh my gosh, it's happened. And it kind of freaks you out in a sense. So it can work out either way for your pole number 3. But acting is where you are right now. Taking action is where you'll be till the end of the year, because I'm seeing this 16 as the 7, and we're working a 7-year this year. And I feel you'll be you'll be in the doing aspect of your journey, I feel, until the end of 2023. And possibly beyond that, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. And I want you to trust, pole number 3, that you're not doing to distract yourself. Now, there is a sense, be careful not to overdo it. And there is a sense that doing is not a bad thing. So it just depends on, you know, we all have different personalities. So it just depends on the aspect of you that is stronger. The aspect of you that is more likely to overdo it. Then rein yourself in. Or Spirit said don't rein yourself in, that's not the right word, but just apply balance. Thank you, Spirit, that's much better. Apply balance. And how you will apply balance is by learning to nurture yourself. And I really feel that you are in balance, pole number 3, and that's why this is all coming about. So I feel this is more, instead of learn to nurture yourself, in your reading, I feel this card is saying, remember to nurture yourself. And with this 10 in tarot, 10 is completion, a culmination of something. So I'm sort of seeing this as don't put yourself last. Don't make looking after yourself, you're getting good sleep, eating well. Don't make yourself the priority to yourself. Don't make that a last thing. I'm sure that came out wrong, but I think you know what I mean, pole number 3. And the card says become the love you deserve. And I feel that you have become the love you deserve. And what does that mean? It means we are all worthy of love. We all deserve love. But if we don't love ourselves, love can't find us. You know, it's very hard for another to love somebody who doesn't love themselves, because somebody who doesn't love themselves will generally create barriers, will generally push people away. So the person that loves you is constantly getting pushback. And that's difficult energy to live with. That's difficult energy to be in. So loving yourself opens the door for others to love you. And I think you're doing that. And not only, and the reason why I know you're doing that is because your intentions are, it's like, well, you made these intentions, pole number 3. That keeps coming back to me. So it's like you're manifesting these intentions, these goals, these dreams. And I feel that that has come from opening yourself up, trusting in yourself, loving yourself, knowing that you deserve. And then we come down to the tarot, which is, gosh, even more beautiful energy, or just as beautiful energy. And we've got the 2 of Cups, and this is what makes me think that this really could be a love relationship. And I've just been drawn to this 2, which is the Roman numerals, and each of these is a 1, which makes the 2. You got the 11 here, and you got the masculine and the feminine, and I just feel there's alignment. There is such an alignment. Now, with this 2 of Cups, whatever's come in, these intentions that you've set, you know, we always set them with a goal in mind. We always have kind of like a bit of a vision, if you like. And these people are dressed very, very differently, which shows me that what has come in could actually be different. It could look different, it could feel different, it can be different than what you expected. But it's still in alignment with the intentions that you set. So I feel that Spirit is just calling that to your attention. I don't think it's going to create a problem for you. It might take you back for a moment and make you go, oh, it's not what I was expecting. But I feel that you're opened and balanced and aligned enough to kind of go, well, this is interesting. And the Cups is about fulfillment. And the Two of Cups is, you know, it really can speak of love, and it's almost like offering yourself, them offering themselves. But there's this thing about it's basically, I want to be with you because it fulfills me. And this person is saying, I want to be with you because it fulfills me. And then because each of you are fulfilled, it's not like you fulfill the other, but you're fulfilled by your own self, if you like. Okay, Spirit's saying I'm going to have to explain that better. When you are fulfilled, you don't need somebody else to fulfill you. When somebody else is fulfilled, they don't need you to fulfill them. And therefore you come into the partnership both fulfilled. So there's already not lack. There's not already of, okay, but you'll need to do this for me so I can feel fulfilled, and you'll need to do this for me so I'll feel fulfilled. You're going into that partnerships with already, I need this from you. I'm entering this relationship because I need this. And that's not how you're entering this. And this doesn't have to be a relationship. This can be anything. This is why you're aligned with your intentions. This is why your intentions are coming, they're manifesting. They might not look the way you expected, but you're such in alignment. And I feel that taking the action, going for what you want, seeing what is coming in, I really feel you feel fulfilled, pole number 3. And I really feel that that makes even more come in. Because then you've got the Ace of Pentacles. Now, this is a gift from the universe. And it's tangible. So we generally say that this is like a seed that you can plant and you can watch it grow. And it takes action. Because this gift from the universe, an opportunity, a relationship, a move, a new job, whatever it is, it's tangible. It's of this world. And you need to accept the Ace of Pentacles. You need to take the pentacle in order to do something with it. If not, it's just a unfulfilled potential. And this Empress tells me that not only do you see the potential in the Ace of Pentacles, you've taken it and you've planted it, and you're going to reap the rewards. You are going to reap the harvest. The Empress is immensely abundant. And we're not just talking money here, but it does include money, because money is an aspect of abundance in our 3D world, isn't it? And I feel that this is where you're headed. Pole number 3, there is just this sense of abundance, just this sense of receiving what you've asked for, even though it may look a little bit different, it may feel a little bit different, the path might be a little bit different. So, you know, you've set your intention, and this is your intention coming in, and it sets you on a new path to abundance. And it's because you're really in alignment with yourself. Do you know, Spirit, I just looked down at this sleep card again, and Spirit said to me, Pole number 3, you're no longer sleepwalking through life. This is a 5. You know, 32 comes to a 5. 5 is all about change. It's all about surprises. It's movement forward. I'm just getting from this card now as well. I mean, there's the initial messages that please heed, but it's also saying that your spirit's saying that you're no longer sleepwalking through life. You're actually looking at opportunities. You're actually looking at the possibilities that are out there for you. I feel like you're this sense of, do you know, I can really make things happen for myself. I can really look after myself. I can really take action, and I trust myself to take the right action. I can set intentions that are not based on what other people will think of me, what other people the expectations, thank you Spirit, of other people. I really see, you know, when we sleepwalk, we're headed somewhere, but you know, we often head where that's not where we want to go. You know, we don't have a clear idea of where we're going. But when we're no longer sleepwalking and we can see everything and we're in alignment with everything, gosh, it takes us, it moves us forward. We move forward. I can't express enough, pole number 3, and I hope I'm doing a good enough job at expressing the energy of this reading. There is so much joy here. There is so much alignment here. There is so much abundance here. And there is happiness. There is connection. There are opportunities. This is a reading we all want to get. This is a reading that not only shows us that we are on the right path, that we're listening, we're connecting, we're in alignment, not only with others, but with Spirit and with all aspects of ourselves. We're actually being truthful to ourselves. And it brings amazing things to the mix. It brings amazing things into our life. And some things that, you know, Spirit is really saying here with the 2 of Cups, things that could be quite different to what you imagined, but they're still in alignment with the intentions that you set. So if this is love, you're still getting that partner that really is in alignment with your intention, but they might be a different nationality. They might have a different culture. They might live somewhere different. They might, so Spirit's drawing me back to they might live somewhere different, which makes you move. Do you know what I mean? Like it leads to more movement, to more expansion, to more alignment, to more reaching these intentions, these goals, these dreams that you've set. This is magical. This is truly, truly magical, pole number 3. That's it. That's Spirit's message for you, my friends. It's beautiful. I'm going to leave those messages there for you, pole number 3. Love, light and blessings. Though I feel you're surrounded by blessings at the moment. But I'm sending them to you anyway. Take care, my friends. See See you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 4. Welcome, welcome, my friends, to your weekly pick a card reading. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you. So we have the Queen of Wands, the Page of Cups, and the King of Swords. The overall energy, we have Guardian, love this card, and we have Self-Love. We have, as additional messages, transform hereditary pain and lovingly speak your truth. Oh, this is a week of personal growth, my friends. This is a week of really blossoming. Okay, so Spirit's starting us off with this Guardian. And I feel Spirit here is saying, above anything else, know that there's something bigger than you out there. Know that you are being guided. Know that you are being supported. Know that Spirit, the universe, God, your higher self, only wants the best for you. And that doesn't lead, that doesn't lead to the easiest path. Because self-discovery is not easy. It takes deep diving. It takes delving within yourself to truly understand yourself and what you want, what you need to learn, what you need to remember. And because this is the first overall energy, I think whatever happens this week, pole number 4, and this is what Spirit wants you to hold on to. Because I think there's going to be maybe some tough lessons. There's going to be definitely some soul searching. And Spirit's telling me that's just so that you see yourself in a different way. You understand yourself more fully and with more clarity, like understanding yourself but with truth, understanding yourself not in the way you want to see yourself, but in the way that you actually are. That's where I'm getting this truth, this honesty from. And the card says Guardian. Now, Guardian is somebody that looks after somebody. Know that you're being looked after. Know that you have all that you need to undertake the journey. And when you need other things, they will come. Now, Spirit just said to me, that's not so you can be frivolous. It's not so you can, let's use money as, you know, the easiest example here. It's not that you spend willy-nilly whatever and just say, oh, Spirit will bring me what I need. No, because if we're not in alignment and spending money that we don't have, or overspending, all that will do is bring us a lesson, won't it? It will bring us clarity on, well, an aspect of ourselves that we don't love, so we put ourselves in a detrimental position, which means we can't pay our bills or our rent, or, you know, we don't have enough to eat. So our actions bring consequence. And that is a universal law. There is no way around that, pole number 4. And that I think you understand. But what Spirit is really trying to guide you towards is when, so we're not talking about that energy of, I'm going to live today and forget about tomorrow. Because our tangible world has consequences for that. But this is the sense of living like that in your inner world. I'm not going to allow my fears to hold me back. I'm not going to allow aspects that I don't like about myself to hold me back. Being limitless is the energy of the soul, but our body and our mind are limited. Our body's definitely limited, and our mind is also somewhat limited. But our soul is limitless. But our soul has inhabited this body, this mind, in order to be part of this tangible world. So therefore, our soul understands that we have the limits of our body and our mind. Now, in your reading, pole number 4, I feel that the limits don't come from a limited body and mind. The natural state of our limited body and mind, I think you have placed limits on yourself. And we all do, my friends, we all do. And we do it to protect ourselves. Because we feel vulnerable in this world, and we are vulnerable. You know, this body, you know, can die. It will die. That is inevitable. But of course, we want to preserve this body as long as we can, so that we live as long as we can. We experience as much as we can. But sometimes in our life that becomes warped, because we want our body to live as long as it can in order for us to experience as much as we can. When that becomes warped, we want to live as long as we can, but we want to protect ourselves from those experiences. So then we are alive, but we're no longer living. And there is an aspect of yourself, an aspect of your life, that you have embraced that protective mechanism. And I think pole number 4, Spirit's asking, can you see where in your life you're applying that? What aspect of yourself or what aspect of your life are you applying that in? Are you keeping people at bay? Are you keeping your life small? And by that I mean not taking promotions, not evolving your life in any way. This will be so different for all of you. Spirit is kind of saying to me, don't get caught up in examples. I'm really feeling, pole number 4, that a change of environment will be so beneficial to you. And I'm wondering if you want to move. I'm wondering if you want to go somewhere else. I know that's so specific for a general reading, but with both these overall energies, I'm kind of getting the sense of changing environment. You know, this person's on a boat. We are, more often than not, we live on the land, don't we? So it's a change of environment. I'm seeing the fish up in the sky as a change of environment. This deer, it looks like it's in a city. It's a change of environment. And it's almost like coming out of one environment and heading into another. And I think it really opens you up to something. I think I'm not sure if it will awaken something in you, but it brings you change. I think it will show you a new aspect of yourself. It will show you maybe even what you're capable of. Now we've got the 16 on this card, and I'm really seeing that as the 7. So I think this is going to continue throughout the rest of 2023, because we're working a 7-year this year. I think this self-love is the self-love. Like, I don't think you hate yourself. Like, I don't think that you hate yourself, pole number 4. I don't feel that this reading is really on that level. I feel that it's more that I just feel that you don't trust yourself, or you don't trust your abilities. And that is a sense of not seeing your self-worth. And I guess that is a sense, you know, of not loving yourself when you don't think you're capable. You don't feel that you're able. And I'm wondering if that's why I'm getting this sense of moving so strongly. And I wonder if that courage to get up and move. Now, pole number 4, if you're not interested in a move, and Spirit just said to me, be honest about the move. But some of you won't be. Some of you, this is not for you. But the majority of you, I really feel it is. And it can be a move overseas, like over water. It can be a move to a completely new environment. Or it can just be a move to a different house, or it doesn't have to be this big, massive thing. But I feel on whatever level this move is talking about, I feel it's going to take courage. But I feel that it works out so much better than you ever thought. I feel that it opens you up where you're just like, wow, okay. And I feel that there is an aspect of yourself that is opened from this move that you won't close again. And it can be an understanding. It can be just the fact that you were brave, and you were like, I was brave. Do you know, I was scared and I did it anyway. And I wonder if it gives you this sense of, I'll always manage. I might not end up where I wanted. It might not end up being what I expected, but I can cope. There's this sense that you learn something about yourself. Now we've got transform hereditary pain. The past does not bind you. At the moment, pole number 4, I'm wondering if it does. And only you can answer that. And we all carry around pain in us. Pain from past experiences, pain from regret of doing something or not doing something, the pain of things ending, the pain of finding ourselves in the wrong place, the pain of understanding how we've let ourselves down, how in not being true to ourselves have actually led somebody down the wrong path and caused them pain. And I feel that this past that has created this pain in you, that probably has kept you where you are, because pain transforms to fear. And we hold on to that pain in order to keep ourselves safe, because by holding on to that pain, that is a constant reminder of the fear that we have. So when we can work on the fear, we can let go of the pain. And how I was saying, pole number 4, that I'm just getting something about this moving is just going to open you up. I'm wondering if facing that fear enables you to release the pain. And the pain is linked with an emotion. You know, you release that emotion and you let the past go. And I feel that moves you forward in enabling you to see and speak your truth. So this card says, lovingly speak your truth. Vulnerability is strength. And I think you're going to see that, because I feel that you're going to feel that you've put yourself in this position of vulnerability by moving somewhere maybe where you don't know anyone, a new environment, out of your comfort zone. And you were strong. Like, it showed you, wow, I did this. I did this for myself. And suddenly there's this truth about you that's revealed, your capability. How we all contribute to making things happen for us. How when we trust in ourselves and trust in the universe, magical things happen. Now, pole number 4, Spirit's just said to me, if you were drawn to pole number 3, it's not your reading for this week, but the reading of pole number 3 will show you, will guide you, is a heads up on what happens when we get aligned, on when we speak our truth, we see our truth, when we're not allowing past situations to still dictate how we function in the present moment or how we dream for our future. If you are drawn, and only if you're drawn, go listen to that reading, because I feel it will be a really significant encouragement for you. I think you're going to start to see vulnerability as very different to what you thought of it before. Being vulnerable means you've just put your authentic self out there for people to like or hate. See, when you put let's say a fake version of yourself out there, so a version that you think, oh, I think people will like this, or if you're rejected, you feel really hurt, because that rejection actually, it's like you got it wrong. You read those people wrong. You read that situation wrong. So you feel wrong. And sometimes we feel wronged. But when you put your authentic self out there and you're rejected, there's more fear in that, because it's not like you made a mistake in what you thought these people wanted. It's like you fear that them rejecting the real authentic you means that you are wrong. Your being is wrong. And it takes us a little while and then that will make us generally retreat back into a shell. We'll put another mask on after that. But if we can keep going with it, if we can keep opening ourselves up to it, we come to a point where we realize that they're not rejecting us. They're rejecting the connection because it's not in alignment. So in them seeing your vulnerability, your true self, and they see that, oh, their true self doesn't match with that. And therefore, there's no connection. And when we can come at life, when we can come at rejection from that standpoint, we understand that they haven't rejected us at all. It's got nothing to do with us. It's that the energies don't align, therefore there's nothing to connect with. And those people might not be aligning with us because they've got their fake mask on. Or they could be vulnerable and they can be putting their true self out there. Either way, it doesn't really matter. The connection's not meant to be. And if we can trust in that, opening ourselves up and being true becomes a way of life, because we just can see that. I have a little paragraph in my blurbs that says, always shine your inner light, because it's your beacon for your soul tribe and the abundance of life to find you, so that everything's in alignment, so that everything works together, functions together. It's a good fit. And there's this sense that in order for that to happen, because you can have a good fit sometimes when you're not being truthful, when you're not being yourself. So your fake self and a true self of somebody else, or a fake self of somebody else, can actually align. But that's when you get relationships that are so much work, because everybody's pretending, or you're having to constantly pretend. And after a long period of time, that pretending is hard to maintain. It's hard to keep that up. So you've got the tarot here, and the tarot, I really feel, is kind of saying to you, this is your awakening, pole number 4. This is your step now. And you've got the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is that energy of, she's following her soul. She's following her soul calling. She's following her passions. It's like the sunflower turning towards the sun. And the Queens know, she knows that she will receive what she needs to receive along this calling, this soul purpose, this journey to get to where she needs to be. She's not so hung up on where she needs to be either. She just knows that that will unfold as and when she gets there. That's why she's this receptive energy, this true, open energy of receiving. And that guides her on her path. She doesn't feel she needs to know all the steps. She just follows that guidance that she gets. And the Page of Cups here, I'm so glad this is the page that's here, because the Page of Cups has accepted the cup, the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Cups leads to fulfillment on some level for you. But there's an element of surprise to it. So often I feel that what you think fulfills you, or what the goal that you're aiming towards, because you think, oh yeah, that's what will fulfill me, suddenly you realize, oh, look at this, I never ever thought about that. So I feel that as you open yourself up, as you become aligned with your soul, your goals, your dreams, your passions, surprising things come your way that guide you on your path. That's why the Queen of Wands is not so fixed on where she's going and what she wants. She knows what she wants. But she's not fixed on how that looks or exactly where she's going to end up, because she knows there'll be surprising twists and turns along the way. And then pole number 4, that's how we gain clarity. This King of Swords has the knowledge, the wisdom, the clarity. He's the last of the court cards. He's been the page with all the questions and the curiosity. He's been the knight in the action taking and the moving forward. He's been the queen that has waited and seen what comes to her, where what is coming in that guides her in another direction or guides her forward. And then we've got the king. The king has everything he needs now. So then he has things to give back. So the king is of service. This is when you open your company. This is where you are. This is when you are in alignment with people and places and jobs and opportunities. And this is where you can give back. And I feel this whole reading for you, pole number 4, is all about you gaining access, becoming aligned with where you need to be and with whom, what goals need to be nurtured and moved forward on, how one thing will lead to another, and then will lead to another and will lead to another. And a lot of it will be quite surprising along your journey. A lot of it will be these aha moments. And I'm seeing as well with the tarot, it's like, you know, this page of wands, this page of cups is young, innocent, curious. That's why the pages accept the cups. Because as we get older, we get too set in our ways, and we might not be curious enough to take a new opportunity. And I feel that trust, as you start this new journey, as you open up to this new journey, trust that you will have everything you need, and there'll be that balance between your soul and your mind. There'll be that balance between giving and receiving. You'll be in balance. Again, pole number 4, if you're drawn to pole number 3, because pole number 3 was in balance, and it was all about what's happening because they're in balance. And I think pole number 4, I really feel, and I'm so glad that your reading came after theirs, because it's almost like you're just that little bit behind them. You're still in a, because all our journeys are different. So you're ahead of them in some way and behind in some way, and we're sometimes running parallel and sometimes not at all. And so this is not, they're better than you, or they're whatever, you know, don't get caught up on whatever that is. But they are in alignment, and I feel that you're working, this journey that you're working on at the moment, pole number 4, is to reach alignment. And you're not quite there yet, but I feel that, I don't know, I just keep getting this move is going to be just so beneficial to you. I'm going to leave you with those messages, my friends. Love, light and blessings, pole number 4. See you next time. Bye-bye.